weeks we were traveling, and then I was sick, and then we were on holiday stuff. So we had made a change to our department that we really didn't get out public yet. I think it's going to go out in the Courier this week and probably in the Collington. But we did promote Damien to the security first shift supervisor. So we really wanted to make sure that
May I make one minor correction there, please? He's a security manager. He covers all shifts, not just the first shift.
Yeah, so we feel very strongly. It's positive that to be able to promote from within after interviewing, and we wanted to make sure that we had a real process. So we interviewed, and Damon was obviously at the top. We also were very fair with our employees that were here if they wanted to apply for the position. So very, very awesome thing to be able to promote from within for somebody. Damon, how long have you been here now?
It'll be 9 years.
Exactly. So
very nice.
He's more than paid his dues.
Over a parking space number 22 in the apartment parking space has been blown away from whatever attaches it to the framework, and I was thinking that a good strong wind is going. I'm not in 22, I'm in 23.
Which one did we fix the other day, Mr. Wright?
I'm not sure it's the first one.
The first one we
Oh
fixed the
no,
other day.
this is down 22, which is about in the middle.
In the middle?
Okay.
Yeah. And you already told me about the carpenter fees, right?
Yeah, the carpenter bees. Vernon is on top of that.
Okay.
And I'm on top of it with our request.
Okay. And the snow's gone, it's not leaking.
And you want the laundry room. I got it on schedule this week.
Thank you.
All good?
All good.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Well, we're going to go with departmental updates. So, Mr. D, we'll start with you and go around the table.
Okay. Starting with security and transportation. Just to reiterate what Mr. Seawright just spoke about, Officer Damien Day has been promoted to our security manager's position, and the security manager's position covers all 3 shifts. Mr. Day will be responsible for all of the security operations and in their entirety. And again, we are so glad to have him on board. Very good selection. The security staff, we are in the process of going into the WARN system, and what the WARN system will do, it will allow us to, when I say us, management, to track the rounds that the security officers made. We're going to put the monitors in strategic locations, and when a security officer, say for instance, let's say a security officer was making rounds in the 1,000 area. When they get to the 1,000 area, they have a little WARN gun in their hand, so to speak. They'll hit the monitor, glip, and then they'll make their rounds. And then when they come out, they'll come back and glip. So we can, so if someone said, well, you know, I haven't seen a security officer in the 1,000 area, we can just hit a button and we can print it out and show them that. So that's what we are going to, and we're going to be having a test run with the WARN system in the health center, which will be coming to the IL, independent living soon. We're going to test with the environmental services attendants. In other words, when an environmental services attendant goes into a room, she will hit the WARN that's on the door, hit the monitor, she'll go in and clean the room, and on her way out she'll hit it again, and that'll give us a good time study. So that will be coming to the IL in the future, but we're going to test, start that in the health center for the environmental services attendants. The transportation, we've been moving right along. We haven't missed any appointments. All of the officers, drivers have been doing really well. In fact, we had a marketing event last week, and security and transportation both double teamed that with transporting people down from the employee parking lot down to the marketing event. And I really want to give kudos to the environmental services setup team, because they set that event up really, really good, as well as the we had another major event a couple of weeks ago that they did really well on. So I'd like to really give them kudos on that. Other than that, we just been moving right along, continuing on to do what we do, and that's basically all I have.
You got something on the carpenter bees?
Say that again, please, sir.
Carpenter bees.
That's the first time for bringing it to my attention, sir.
Mr. Roy, and before we get to Mr. Roy, I definitely want to commend Mr. Roy and Jeff and the team for the work that they're doing. I don't know if you guys looked at the landscaping, but from everything that I've heard, the landscaping looks probably better than it ever has. So, Mr. Roy has been on top of the contractor, holding them to the grindstone on the contract this year. I feel very positive. All the hard work that we did put into trying to get to the contract, I think it shows out there. So I definitely want to say thanks to Mr. Roy before you got started. Go ahead, sir.
I want to thank you. I don't know if it's you or the rain, but there's less droppings. Thank you. I don't know if it's your opinion.
Yeah, it is. I think they left. We put the speed bump back in, and some people was happy about that. The landscape contractors, they're in front of their schedule right now. They're doing apartments. So they're doing that. They should be back here probably this week. They're on by the lake doing apartments with them all, clean the yards out. They worked on a couple of yards Friday, a couple of contracts they had got. So
That's what I was going to ask you. So how is that process working out? There was some confusion about that.
I talked to Ms. Russell, and we're trying to set a plan up because some said that they didn't communicate and some said they did. She said she's having the same problem. So we didn't really come up with a precise plan how we're going to do it. But I'm double checking. When they call me, I go get them and make sure that Raj or the young lady goes over.
Because I understand the point of we're saying that it's an a la carte that we all agree to, but I don't want us to just totally remove ourselves.
And I told her we
And
can't.
the transaction is between the
Right.
resident and them, but at the same point, we should know what's going on.
Well, I think she's gonna. I'm gonna get an email. I think that's what I'm gonna try to set up to know what she's doing because some of the residents email or call me and they want the service, and I transfer the message to her.
Gotcha.
And then I find out later when me and Vernon talked, they'll say they got to it, but maybe they went and looked and they know it was home, and maybe they got a price, but they haven't got back to the resident. So it's just miscommunication right there.
A question came up at the RE Council about the menu and the price for things. Has that been settled?
Yes, that's been said.
So that is available
That is
to a resident.
Yes, ma'am.
How do they get a copy of?
Miss Alice was sending that around, so I will reach out to her.
Okay.
I did see it before she
Okay.
sent it to, because I said I wanted to review it, and then we had her take it to grounds committee for review.
Yes.
So we made sure that we vetted it
All right.
before
What
we
is
moved
this, a
forward.
menu,
A menu of services that are available a la carte to residents who want gardening stuff done.
Okay.
Additional garden that's
Okay.
beyond the scope of the
I
contract.
got you.
So we did agree to it. They took it to the grounds committee. If it didn't get everywhere it was supposed to get, what we can do is get a copy of it and put it in the mailboxes. That's not a problem.
Roger did
And
pick
that's-
them on a
yep.
Thursday or Friday. He put it in everybody's mailbox. But if you need one, just let me
No,
know.
I don't need one.
You know,
Oh, okay.
I've had a few
Not
people
on the
call
third
me
floor.
and they said they didn't get a copy of it, or they misplaced theirs, they need another one, so.
Okay, because I watched it and I know he had a whole lot.
Maybe we should do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, that's fine. So we can do that again.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
So anything else going on? Talk to Jim about the Collington sign at the front. I had an agreement with something that was supposed to happen up there and it needs to happen this week.
And I mentioned to Roger about that, and that's supposed to be happening. That's supposed to happen last week.
Okay.
So I thought back.
All right. And also the front capital renovations needed to get started also.
Okay.
At the front gate.
Okay.
All right. Bobby.
All right, for the last 2-week period, we did 1,067 work orders total in the facilities department, of which 91% were completed in 72 hours or less.
Good. That's really good news. All right. We'll come back to you. We'll skip Kevin and go to security. We're going to come back to Kevin in a moment. And go ahead, Dave.
Well, I just want to say thank you guys for welcoming me to my first meeting. Pretty much off the top of my head, only thing I can think of is I'm thinking of a lot of things we can do in security, like customer service wise, to improve. As far as, visitors and everybody comes to the gate, and then of course our desk presence. Got some ideas I'm thinking of writing down on paper, then I'll present to management and go from there. Other than that, that's about it.
Good.
Currently, we're working on getting bids for the trenching project. That will happen very shortly. We're soliciting bids from 2 more contractors. We'll have those hopefully shortly or before the end of the week, which actually ties in with the phone system that we'll be putting in place shortly thereafter. We're also looking at some staffing models for the current staff that we have in-house, and we'll be covering those probably in the next 30 days. We're looking at filling also 1 more position, and we've been supplementing manpower with current staff for the healthcare center. So once we hire the other position, which would be for the old Latchman position, we'll put someone up there. We actually have guys coming in an hour early to take care of some of the work orders, and they actually end up working a little over to take care of some of them. So we've been rotating guys in and out for that. We also have the Facilities Op newsletter, which will be coming out hopefully by Wednesday. We'll have it in everyone's mailbox. Hopefully by the end of, I'm sure by the end of the week we'll have it in everyone's mailbox. And we're always soliciting ideas from grounds, security, IT, for vacant turnover for marketing that we can put in the newsletter as well. And also Jim from Lasting's really stepped up to the plate. He's actually providing us with landscaping articles that most folks are really interested in seeing, basically how to trim plants, something that small, up and how to plant bushes and stuff too. So folks really enjoy that.
One more thing, we need to make sure that we also give kudos to Jim and Lasting Impression because of the flowers. They donated those flowers. We met with them to make sure that they donated the flowers for Mother's Day. So I definitely let them know again that I truly appreciate what they did. So we talked to them and they came through for us. I mean, basically I just called them and said, look, I want to do something for Mother's Day. And he came through immediately, so let him know that we truly appreciate that. Our staff truly appreciated that. Our community liaisons definitely appreciate because we hand delivered cake and flowers on Friday. So just tell them I said thanks, and I'll also email them myself. So, and we did try to get it to all staff. So everybody went home happy, I think, on Friday. All the mothers, anyway. So we have Mr. Kendall Brown coming in. Kendall, I'm going to backtrack real quick before I jump right into Kevin and Vernon about the wine system. Mr. D gave us a brief update on it. So I guess what I'm looking from you is how far are we out? I saw the email that said they didn't want to wait, but like how far?
It's here.
Oh, here. Okay.
It's here. It came here while I was out.
Okay.
So now we just have to schedule training.
Okay.
Rick to come out and train everyone. So.
Awesome. Awesome. And we're going to start where again?
We haven't totally decided where we're going in the IL. I know we're going to go in the IL and the health center. We decided the IL and the health center.
As far as for the housekeeping staff, yes.
Yes. Exactly where they're going to be placed at in the IL. Right now, I don't know if that's has that been fully determined?
No.
No. Okay. But it's going to
So
go.
once, I guess in the next few meetings, we'll be able to show a tour between Kendall and Dan. I'm sure they'll have something put together for that. The tours will probably start off small and increase as we go along. Because I would probably like to get a chance for you guys to see the tour and what makes sense. I want to make sure that the residents have some say in that tour. So I'm sure some of the residents in other areas will be adamant about what they feel about how the tour should look. So we'll see how that works. But it's coming, it's here. We feel positive about that. Ken, I don't know, we gave Damien kudos twice, but as you're his immediate supervisor, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add to his promotion.
with me being out last week, I can honestly say hats off and many thanks for the job he's done and how he's held everything down. So I'll double or triple the kudos.
Here, here.
All right.
I'm one of your biggest fans. How fraction you make that I never saw before, so I'm very much aware of security walking through.
I'm glad to hear it.
Likewise.
Well, we're going to jump right into Kevin because I know Kevin has sales to do, so we want to jump in and try to get him out of the room between him and Vernon. So Kevin, I'm going to run through the list and you tell me what you have or what's going on. I think the three.
364 is complete, Kevin.
That's ready? Okay.
322, the cabinets came in this little while ago, Kev, so that's moving. We're a little concerned about the moving date, with the cabinets just getting here, but we were working with the contractor to make that, try to make that happen.
The 28th you're concerned about, but the cabinets are in.
He just got here today. Miss Shelley's cabinets for her, additional for the bar, and then they came here, they were delivered today as well.
We're good with that move in.
Has Ms. Batten moved into 364 yet?
Yes,
She has, okay.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
She's already in?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm getting ready. Keys for, Friday.
Yes,
Oh,
last Friday.
okay.
The villa at 5012 is going along well.
Great, that's Victor.
You and I walked Mr. Hutchinson's unit the other day. Changes were made with the telephones. Mr. Ash, that job's going well. The only concern there was with Mr. Ash is to get the permit for the sunroom.
Right.
Um,
On 11 Jazz Court,
that's not even, we don't have
you
that,
don't have a design sheet.
nothing.
She said revised design sheet sent to architect, facilities 5-2, you don't have it?
No, sir. We can't do anything there. I have the design sheet, but there's nothing we can do there because it's, Eli's business. First thing we gotta do is move Eli and then, respond to 111. So that's, we've gotta find a home for Eli. Do TCI.
And 254.
254.
No, only
That's
minimum
not-
renovation.
Yeah, that's not.
That's
what-
been done.
Yeah.
We did that in the house.
So this should be off the sheet.
Yeah.
and
That
then-
was originally done for one resident, never showed it, so we did it again.
It's a movie.
It's, there's no moving date, is it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, 4209, we walked that, me, you, and Susan and Mr. Seawright last week. I need a color scheme for that. Unless it's gonna be one. It's not on this list either, it should be on it.
Right.
But I thought we,
1211,
everyone touch up in there? Besides the windows? But that was when you repainted already, correct?
it was room ready.
Gotcha. Okay. No problem. Anything else, Kevin, on
Not
the
at
list?
this point.
Alright. Vernon, alright, so you guys walked Hutchinson last week, so we're all on the same page?
Yeah, well, it looks good, it's coming right along. They do have a date of this month.
They're coming back the week, was it next week, Ernie said Thursday the 22nd or something.
Yeah. He comes back every 2 weeks and walks the unit with us.
It's a lot of fun.
Great.
But, you can see his move-in date is 6/10.
So, okay. So for full disclosure, for everybody around this table, this week we are interviewing, well, we started Friday. We're interviewing architects. We're looking at the possibility of having more than one, or the possibility of just having a new one. We're trying to, again, streamline the process that it works better for both departments. And also trying to find an architect that understands the facility that we work at and the pleasing of the customer, because we understand it's a basically catch-22. Architects going out, they're talking to the residents, and they're doing that for us. The residents are asking, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. We're telling the architect on the other side, based on the conditions of what we know about our building, there's some things that you can't do. So we're trying to find somebody that can really bring that process together without it look like Collington is not trying to be forthcoming in their ideas or their views of what the structure is about. So we're working on that this week. We'll probably update everyone at the next stat meeting. We should be completed. I think there's 2 additional interviews this week, correct, Rasul? There's 2 additional interviews this week. So once we are finished with that, and probably even bring them in so individuals can meet them too, because whoever it is, you'll see them walking around all the time. The next thing was trying to find somebody too that has some local presence. Right now, our current company doesn't have much of a local presence, and that's not what I would say a fault of theirs from a personal standpoint. It's just that sometimes we need somebody that can be right here, right at the moment. We also want somebody that's going to be more impactful, walking through the units as an architect, looking at the contractors with Vernon. Right now, we have it where, from an architectural standpoint, if a resident comes in and it's a client meeting, then they're able to they come in. But that everyday focus on maybe once a week focus, should never be every day anyway, but maybe once or twice a week focus is not there, just because it's kind of unfair to ask the person to come from where they're coming from to here to do that. So we're looking at it. We'll let you guys know as soon as it happens, as soon as we pick someone. We're not looking to remove anybody. We're looking just for it to be competitive and have more options. Because right now we just have one option.
Do you have access to architects who have been trained in working with retirement communities?
That's what we're doing while we're interviewing them.
Because one year I went up to Harvard with a group of residents to a seminar that was being held on. It was a 6-week thing. I was only there a few days. Where a group of some 30 people who were in architecture wanted to learn about how you work with older people. We were sample older people. So let's see what older people look like.
Yeah, so that's part of the interview process. It's also part of what they have to show us in their references, that they have done something like this before. We're adamant about that, to be honest with you. Go ahead, Mr.
With ADA in mind.
Yes, it's very important.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep, ADA, that was part of our meeting on Friday, that we were glad that we didn't have to mention that. The architect basically mentioned to us, like, are you guys prepared for this? And I won't tell you what the answer was, but it's come up. It has definitely come up.
It is a concern, not because sometimes when they come in, they may not be in that situation, but eventually they may, and then we're going to make renovations. It's going to be costly to them.
That's right.
Exactly. So from I'm sorry, Kevin, I didn't mean to come
No,
away
you're
from you.
fine.
You're okay?
I'm finished. We only have 3 that are really important this month, the next 2 weeks.
We feel very positive about, of course, still working with the contractors to move forward, but trying to make them more or less tacticians, for lack of a better term. But the prices are still where they need to be. The bids are coming in correct, as you can see from the information that's on the screen. These are some of the first floor apartments that we have turned over, and those amounts are considerably less than previous. So, and I want to touch on that for a reason. The more that we hold the line, the more that we're able to do in the community. And this is something that I definitely want to get to you guys as the liaisons for us. There's no fundamental secret that when we're painting the whole unit, when we're painting the whole apartment building, there is somebody else that we're getting that money from. Okay, and I think that we're trying to make sure that everybody understands that. The more that we pay for turnover, the less we're going to wind up doing in common spaces. The less we're going to have for the grass contract, for the outside delivery. The less we're going to have to do capital in front of the when you actually come right through the gate. So that is something that Vernon, Kevin, Kim, they all work together on, and obviously David too, where we're looking at the appliances costs. We're like, anywhere that we can save and still do it professionally, we try to do it. So when you come in through the security entrance now, guess where the savings from there goes to somewhere else. And we're just trying to make sure that everybody understands that from a resident standpoint. You know, we know sometimes they might see a car parked in the wrong spot, or a golf cart in the wrong area because where Vernon's pushing the guys to get the places turned over. So again, we're trying to alleviate costs and pushing the guys to do turnover so we can see the benefit in our other common spaces that we have not seen before.
Where are golf carts supposed to park?
Well, the golf carts, we tell the contractors it's okay to pull up to the site because they can't move
You
their
mean
equipment.
contractors,
Yeah,
golf
contractors.
carts.
Yeah, we don't, I'm not,
No,
we know Kev parks on the grass, we don't worry about that. But, the contractors, we tell them, look, we understand that you can't move your stuff, because if you're doing it in 4200 and you have to come all the way down the other end and you're moving ceramic tile, which is heavy, that put it on the golf cart and go ahead and take it down. Now, we don't want them to stay there all day. Now, the key is, and we've talked to them, you can't stay there all day, but it's a little bit hard to tell them, hey, carry it down here. Like, that's just a little ridiculous. So, from that standpoint, we feel very positive about what's going on. We want to keep pushing a lot of the things that we're doing in the common space areas. The security one, the security one is not, I won't say it's greatly expensive, but it's not cheap. So from that standpoint, we're able to save money other places, and now we can have the security one. I mean, and it's just things that I heard when I was coming in. I know some of it took a while to get there, but we had to show that we can save dollars first. So with the saving of the dollars, now we're able to go out and do things that people always wanted to do.
All the
So,
air conditioners in the common space, all them heaters and air conditioners.
Exactly. That money came from the money we saved in turnover. Because I literally was tired of walking down that hall, hearing the machine go off. I was like, I told him when I said, Vernon, if I hear the machine again, I'm going to shoot somebody. Like, we got to fix it. So we were able to fit all of the air conditioners in for, I think, Dave, and I had to give kudos to Dave on this one, but it was less than $50,000. We replaced all of the air conditioning units throughout all of the common spaces. So the only way we can do that is the game that we're doing now, where contractors have to be accountable. We have to make sure that we're getting the best price that we can possibly get. And again, we're talking about the architects and making sure that all starts to work slightly better than it is now. It's not a bad process, it's just that we can make improvements from our side. So I just wanted to make sure, I know you guys talk to everybody in the community, that message gets out there of how we have to work the process, because we don't have $30-40 million to just throw at things. So we have to basically create our dollars, and this is kind of how we go about it. So if you look, like I said, that was the first floor. We'll look at some of the. So if you look at the villas, and you'll see where some of the villas are on here. The prices for some of those that we have turned are amazing. I won't stay on there too long, but and you see Ms. Lula does an excellent job because we have everything down to the microwave inside of our costs if anybody ever wants to go track it at this standpoint or look at it. So you'll see where things that used to turn for hundreds of thousands of dollars are now turning for 3 and sometimes almost 4 times less than that. Which makes us, like I said, we're able to go out and do a lot more projects than we ever maybe had before. So that's something that I really try not to touch on too much when we come into this meeting, because we make so much of it public. But that's the rationale behind what we're able to do, and why you guys see so much work going on for the people that sitting here at the table while they're doing it. So. If there's any other questions about that, feel free to always come to me and ask, and we can talk about it. Make that new security entrance off the money that we save on those. So we feel very positive about that. I'm going to jump back into the work order and the productivity, and kind of, well, we've met with staff, we've met with the environmental staff. Because we want, one, to say, hey, we appreciate you, and two, to kind of let them know what we're doing. A lot of times we come in, we have these meetings, and the staff has no idea or what we're looking at, or why we're looking at it. So what we've been trying to do in the last few weeks is make sure that we bring the staff in and say, here's why this is what we're looking for, and this is what we're looking at, and here's why. I would never tell you that everybody in the room understands exactly what we're saying. But I would also tell you that if we can have 75 to 80% to pull that other 20% in and say, well, hey, it does make sense on why they're looking at it. It's not to be punitive. It's to the point where we can't ask for anything. We can't ask for resources. somebody comes in and wants to do a survey, we could be clueless because we don't know. If you don't have data, you don't know. So what we do is we've met with them and kind of given it to them and say, here's what we're looking at, because they thought it was more of a competition-based thing, and that clearly it wasn't what it was about. It was just a matter of saying, hey, we can actually see what's going on out there now. We have a general idea how long it's taking individuals to do things. And they came in with some good points, because I believe that the conversation should be have both sides. So they came in with some good points. We've made some adjustments. They've made some adjustments. But at the end of the day, just trying to let them know that it is a fair process out there. I think the misunderstanding was the work was being based on a lack of occupancy. I'll just say that. So now that you have an increased occupancy, the level of work picks up. So a lot of times individuals come to you and say, well, because we're working too hard. And it's not that you're working too hard, it's that you can continue to work because we have an occupancy level that has picked up. You were used to working at a vacant level where the place was shuttered. So now that we're vibrant and everything's moving again, everything picks up. So, but being able to show them, and that again goes to some of the work. Because if I can go in there and say that in a meeting all I want, if they don't see new landscaping and from residents and workers, if they don't see new landscaping, if they don't see new things going on in the common spaces, then what I'm saying is basically goes down the drain. Because why would you believe it? So that's why we go so hard to get that work done. In the meantime of telling folks, well, yes, you do have to work a little bit harder now because we're occupied. We're at 80%. We're not at 52. At 52, yes, you're going to work probably a whole lot less than you are at 80. So, but you have to show. You have to show individuals why you're saying that. You don't just take for granted that they know. So that has worked pretty good. We've done that on both sides at this standpoint, from the environmental and the plant side. So we're working. Of course, you're always going to have some people that you can't please everybody. I think we at this table, we all know that. We try, but we go into it knowing that we can't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we know that we can't. So we keep moving forward, but everything is going positive from our standpoint. Anything negative, we try to come in here and we might beat each other up in this room, but by the time it gets back out to you guys, it's positive. So we keep fighting the good fight. We'll continue on. Again, I said we'll update you guys on our architect interviews next week. And let me talk really quickly about the ESCO, because Mike McCall and I sit and talk all the time because he's on the buildings committee and we have this big ESCO energy savings contract that we're looking at. And you guys are eventually going to have to play a major part, because I know you guys are two of our biggest supporters. We're looking at the possibility of partnering with the state of Maryland to have ESCO contractors come in. So the good thing is Vernon and myself have a lot of experience of working with them because we work with them in the city. So what they do is they come in and they see if there's a project that they can make money on off of rebates and things like that, right? From a capital standpoint, Collington only has so many dollars. So, and I would basically say we don't probably have as many dollars as we would need to do the project. So it behooves us to partner with the state. So we're going to partner with the state and have them come in, and we're basically they're banking us. So, because there's a bond. But the state will hold the bond for us, and we'll still reap the benefits of the savings. Now,
this is about electricity.
Yeah, probably gonna be it's probably gonna be lighting and things like that. Maybe some water, maybe. But I know lighting is gonna be a part of it. So basically every light will probably get switched out and be an energy efficient light. Now with that, the company that we chose has to come in and have a certain amount of savings, or they won't get paid. So basically what happens is they come in and underestimate, they're not going to cheat themselves out of money. So they want to have a real level playing field of what they know that they can save and guarantee. So at the end of the day, they get the money from the state. So basically Collington is kind of playing the middleman. We looked at a few other companies, but they wanted money up front. And we knew from doing this before that you really should not have to give any upfront money if you get with the right partner. So there'll be more to come in reference to that. There's a process that we're looking for, a calendar. finally start getting around. Maybe the next meeting I'll even invite the two of you.
This
'Cause
is
right
Mike
now,
McCully
Mike,
and
the building committee.
funds.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
senior
So
fund.
exactly. So we may even invite you to that because we're still in the infancy stages of talking about it.
We talk to Mike and Andrew all the time.
Exactly. Exactly.
They talk to us.
Exactly. So the process is moving forward.
So we're aware of.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. 'Cause we had this conversation the other day, and I was saying like we don't want it to kind of be a surprise to everybody. So we're finding ways now to be as transparent as we possibly can in how we deliver those messages and get it out there. So you'll hear more coming in the future in the next few weeks. But
Mike McCully will talk about it. He writes a good piece and he likes transparency too.
Yep.
So you can count on Mike to inform
we're on the
us
same page.
what's going on.
And it's not like they're gonna hear it for the first time.
No.
He's been talking about it and talking about it.
Exactly.
Like-
Exactly. That's the point. So it'll work. I'm fully behind it. I know that it works. Right now, there's just some negotiation going on about years and how many years that we will want to be into it, and we have to also beggars can't be choosy. So there's a piece of it that we're going to have to negotiate because they're going to want a certain amount of years. I'll leave it at we're in negotiations about that right now.